Do you ever feel like men have all of the power and love? You're supposed to be figuring out what they want and waiting until they contact you. Because, of course, men are the ones who ask women out, men are the ones who propose, and you can't do anything about it except wait. Hi, I'm Amy Waterman, a dating and relationship expert with yourbrilliance.com, and it is time to bust that belief that men have more power than you. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways to get your power back in love. So here's something that really bothers me. We live in the 21st century, and there are still folks telling women that they have to behave like good 1950s girls if they want to get married. You know the advice, like women are supposed to be feminine and they're supposed to let men take the lead, and they're definitely supposed to make sure that he feels like a big man. I'm sorry, but I don't want to go back to the 1950s. I would rather stay right here in the 21st century where I've got internet and great coffee and tons of career options. Here in the 21st century, men and women stand as equals, right? We don't need a husband. We want a partner. And that 1950s dating advice is not going to get us 21st century love. If you play the role of a good woman who never makes the first move and is always thinking of ways to please her man, who adapts to him instead of expecting it to go both ways, then 2 things happen. Number 1, you end up waiting and waiting and waiting. You ask yourself, where have all the good guys gone? Well, they're right here, but they're talking with women who actually made an effort with them. That old dated advice that women should sit there and just smile pretty doesn't cut it anymore, because a lot of guys are shy and a lot of guys are busy, and there's just too much noise. So he might not even notice you unless you say something first. So take responsibility for your part in the dating game, right? Notice him and say hi and start a conversation, because being friendly is not the same thing as throwing yourself at him. Number 2, you will attract jerks. Being the demure, passive good girl will attract men, but not necessarily the right kind of men. These guys want a woman who recognizes that the man is in charge, right? He's the head honcho in the relationship. And sure, that may feel sexy at first, a little bit of 50 shades of gray there, but it gets old fast. Because if you're going to make a life with this guy, then you want to have a say in how you live your life, right? It can't always be about him. But he may not like it when you start standing up for yourself. He didn't sign up for that, and things can fall apart really fast. When you expect to be an equal partner in a relationship of equals, then you are definitely going to put some men off. And thank goodness for that, because that's actually what's supposed to happen. If a man can't handle your spirit and your boldness and your sense of conviction in life, then he's actually disqualified himself from your affections. You don't want an insecure guy who feels bad about himself just because a woman dared to assert herself with confidence. The men who are the real catches don't care whether a woman has opinions or says hello first or expects to have an equal say, because their masculinity is strong enough that nothing outside of them can threaten it. And certainly not starting a conversation with a woman, right? So the first thing I would have you do is to stop believing that your true self threatens men in some way. If you have to make yourself small in order to make him feel big, then it's not worth it. The second thing I would ask you to do is to allow yourself to show some interest in people, right? We've been told that we can't let a guy know we're interested, otherwise we'll scare him off. But guys are people too, right? They like to be liked. So if your instincts say that this guy is somebody that you'd like to get to know, then reach out to him. You can't go wrong as long as your intention is to connect. Because where things blow up in our face is when we want something from someone and they can tell we have those ulterior motives. But liking and appreciating somebody is always welcome. Now, finally, the third thing that is really, really important is to stop feeling like your worth depends on being chosen. Because you're not worth less than some other woman just because you're not partnered. Truly confident women know that their confidence comes from within. They don't need a relationship for validation because they know their own worth. And when someone tells you, what, a pretty little thing like you, why hasn't some man snapped you up yet? You just gotta shake your head. Some people, right? It's crazy to think that there are still people out there who think that you're just half a person if a man hasn't placed his stamp of approval on you. Men are not saviors. They are not the voice of validation. They're just human beings like us, hoping to love and be loved. Yet we live in a world where women are still judged for breaking the mold. And nowhere is that more clear than in these antiquated dating rules that we're still expected to play by. A lot of people want us to stay in our places. And you have to ask yourself, who does it serve for me to wait on the sidelines for a man to choose me? Because here's what it doesn't serve. It doesn't serve love, because love celebrates. Love doesn't tell us to stick to our assigned gender roles or else. Love gets excited when we show up. Love doesn't control or judge. And if another man or woman shames you for daring to live life the way you normally do, then they have told you everything you need to know. There is no love in that heart. So move on. Have you ever had somebody try to shame you for being single or for not being enough of a woman? If you feel comfortable, share your story with us in the comments. And for more videos like these, make sure to click that subscribe button now and then visit us over at yourbrilliance.com for more tips and insights on how you can live your most brilliant life. See you next time.